Right, we're 10 minutes into 2026 and I've decided, right, I'm going to run 1,500 kilometres this year in 2026. I've just chosen that figure on the top of my head. I don't know if it's a lot or not a lot, I don't know. It's about at least 4 kilometres a day every single day for each 20 days a year. I'm going to run 1,500 kilometres this year, 2026. It is just gone New Year's Day. I'm going to hold myself to it.
Good morning. It is New Year's Day. 1st of January. And I'm about to go and do my first run of the year. Because foolishly, I've set myself a goal to run 1,500 kilometres this year. Which, it may not seem like a lot to a professional, but for somebody who's not a runner and who's never been consistent with running ever, that works out at 4 kilometres a day, and it is over the length of running from the top of Scotland to the bottom of England. Now you just imagine 4 kilometres every day, including being hungover, ill, holidays, work, constraints, every single day running 4.3 kilometres or whatever it is. Anyway, I've set myself a goal and I'm gonna have to do it. So I got into bed 7 hours ago, so I don't know why I'm doing it today, but let's go. I'm gonna try and aim for at least 5k today, and that'll be day one of 1,500 kilometre running this year. Oh god, I'll catch you on the run. Let's start. Oh god, I'm regretting this already. I've not even had a coffee this morning or eaten. I've just got that red wine and Guinness in the back of my throat. Let's start 2026 off right with a run, uphill as well. So 1,500 kilometres in the year. What do you think? Do you think that's a hard enough challenge? It's easy? What do you reckon? I just picked a number randomly drunk. I had it in my mind that I was going to do a running goal this year, because I'm just not consistent. I really can't keep up with it. So I just decided out last night that 1,500 kilometres seemed like a good number, and the basis and theory of that was that in my mind last night I was like, okay, so 700-ish kilometres would be about 2k a day. That sounds too easy. I want to do at least 3k, so I just doubled it and was like, okay, it's got to be at least around 4k a day. So that's why we are at the 1,500 kilometre number. I'm not helping myself because my watch is in miles, so I don't know how many kilometres I'm doing. So I'm going to have to change that once I've finished this first one. Now the problem is, I know how this is going to go. I can envision how I'm going to end up doing this. It's going to get to around July and I'll be nowhere near my goal. I'll have just dropped off and stopped doing at least 4k a day, and I'll end up having to do something stupid like back-to-back ultra marathons in October or November to make sure I run that distance over the year. It's around 1,000 miles, isn't it? I think 1,500 kilometres. Okay, I'm 1 kilometre down. Just 1,499 to go this year. How am I feeling? Well, not good is the honest answer. Not good. Every sort of landing step It feels like my right eye is going to explode. My head is hurting that much. But this is not me fanning for sympathy. I'm fully aware I was out last night bringing in the new year with Guinness, red wine, Fireball whiskey, etc. But I'm never going to give myself a challenge and not attempt it. And I'm not going to try and pretend to you, by the way, that this is like a drunken spur of the moment challenge. I've been thinking about a running challenge in my head. But this one just seemed the best one to do, because if anything, it's going to drive consistency with getting out there. It's going to push me to go and do longer runs to get ahead of myself. Listen, if you're a pro runner watching this, or an actual runner, I get it, 4k a day, you probably do 40 kilometre weeks every week anyway, but have a look at my Strava. You know, I think the biggest week I've ever done is about 35k ever, and with this challenge I've got to do 30k every single week of the year. So I don't think it's an easy feat at all. I really don't. Anyway, would I be running on New Year's Day with no music, a stomping headache, and I can barely see if it wasn't for a challenge? Absolutely not. I'd be in bed eating a McDonald's breakfast. So I'm already happy with the decision I've made to take on this 4k every day. Right, that's the first mile done. I need to change my watch from miles to kilometres because I can't work it all out. A mile definitely feels longer. Whew. If there's one thing that's going to get rid of a hangover, it's running down a quiet canal. Oh. See, in reality, it's not 4k a day, is it? Because Christmas Day, birthdays, bank holidays, nights out, friends' birthdays, there's going to be so many days you don't run this year. Do you think it's easy, or do you think it's a difficult challenge to do? You know, it's not like I'm a retired or wealthy individual who has all the time in the world. You know, I get up at 5 and get home about 6 p.m. most days. So squeezing these runs is going to be very tough, but I'm glad I'm doing it. You know, I'm really glad I'm going to challenge myself this year. Someone's got to, isn't they? I reckon Joe's just going to try to eat 10 calories less a day from his 7,000 a day down to 6,990. Heart rate is in the high 150s and I'm doing like 11-minute miles. Wow, I am struggling. How many of you would get straight up out of bed after a night out and run? Come on. I've got to say, this has probably got to be one of the bottom 3 things I wish I was doing right now, is running outdoors in the cold on New Year's Day. There's at least 500 things I'd rather be doing than this. And I'm not even 2 kilometres in. I sound like that penguin, you know, of Toy Story, Wheezy. It's exactly how I sound. But I've got the place to myself because no one's stupid enough to run on New Year's Day. This new year, new me nonsense. I've fallen into the trap. Right, I am just over 2 kilometres into it. Feels like a lifetime of running, this does. I'm aiming to hit 5k. That will get me 0.8 kilometres ahead on the first day of 2026. because it's going to start snowing this weekend and get to -6. So where possible this year, I want to try and front load the miles on good days where I'm free. So wherever, like, you know, it's a sunny day or I've got time on my hands, I'm going to try and run like 20k in one day and get ahead of myself. Whew. What is everyone else doing as a challenge or a resolution, or do you not subscribe to that, you know, new year, new me, or you just continue doing what you're doing? I think if you don't have a challenge or a goal though, you can just fall into a routine and everything becomes a little bit samey. So it's good, you know what I mean? Even if you end up giving yourself a goal which is a bit too far out of reach and failing, I still think that's good. You know, there's a high possibility I won't hit this mileage this year because of inconsistencies, whatever, but one thing it's guaranteed to do is get me out on days like today where I would never do anything. I would just sit in bed and fester, feeling sorry for myself. So there's any positive actions to take away from, you know, giving yourself a goal that may be quite difficult. Anyway, I'm just about 3 kilometres into running the top of Scotland to Land's End. About 600 metres to go, and that's the first 5k of the year done. It hasn't been easy. I really have struggled on this. I wish I was doing it for theatrics, but my head is absolutely splitting. What's my eyes look like? I can't tell, I'm there. Honestly, I'm unprepared. I just put a hoodie on and no water. I just thought I'm just gonna go get some kilometres in quickly before my headache gets too bad. Doing this though, every single day for 365 days in a year. If anyone's got any advice on how to tackle this, I don't even think like saving all your miles up to the weekend and doing one big hitting one is beneficial. But especially in the winter, I'm really going to be bothered to go out every single day and run for about 30 minutes. Because essentially that's what you're committing to. You're basically essentially committing to running every single day for 25 to 35 minutes a day. Depends on your pace. What's Joe's goal this year? Can't just be me taking one for the team and doing this. 5k is done, but I was that slow on the run, I missed McDonald's breakfast. I am devastated. Anyway, that's 5k, 1500 done. I'm going to bed. Yeah, stick along and see if I hit this goal or not this year. Happy New Year. Catch you at the next one.